Hello and welcome, one and all, to the race against coronavirus, we've dubbed this. A non-championship race here on the Chinese circuit, Chinese Grand Prix circuit, the Shanghai International circuit. And yeah, we're not doing this race to bring awareness to it, because let's be fair, if you haven't heard of the coronavirus, have you been living under a rock? But it's more of a race to acknowledge the impacts of coronavirus and how it's going to affect our lives. A lot of us are going to be in isolation for the next however long, we don't know. And it's scary to some of us, as we've got to find a way to live around it. And in the motorsport side of things, we're not going to have any racing for a while, and so virtual races like this have been set up, albeit this is an AI race and not, racing drivers hopping into a sim. You get the point. Let's go down the grid. On pole position for today's race, we have Michał Waliak. His 5-race winning streak was brought to an end last time out at Hockenheim by his teammate Louis Sage. Then we have Finley Taylor in second, the pole sitter from last race, then McHugh and Sage. Then we have Joseph Murray Sr., pretty good qualifying for the driver that has been the epitome of mediocre this season. Then we have Christopher Coburn, James Smith, Alan Kopich with an 8th place qualifying position. Shame this one doesn't count for anything, but good qualifying there. Armani Risotto in 9th place. Giancarlo De Campo 10th, better showing from the Brabham. Isabel Harvey, Justin Regani, Samuel Graden, Curtis Barton, Langenberg down in P16. Really not good qualifying for the Tier 2 Benetton. Weth Polk in the first of the Scuderia Italias, you can see where this is going. Then we have Fischer, Kelly, brilliant qualifying for Ligier. Johan de Jong, 20th, not good for him. And even worse still, for Reina Akikawa, is 22nd on the grid. Then we have Nisbet, Favre, Aguirre, Granville, Luis Ramirez, although the Z has been cut off his name, making his debut here in the Moderna, qualifying 27th. Of course, everyone qualifies for this race, no pre-qualifying. Then we have Tabaka, Agnes, Shai Catano, Teller, Yuri Tugud, Squid McCormick, and Zeddy Tanius rounding out the grid. Without further ado, as this has been a long introduction, let's get right into it. Waiting for the lights on the gantry here, and they're just not going to show up. Either way, we're away. Looks to be a good start from Michał Waliak as we go down towards turn 1. Remember, 35 cars here, 34. They're all going to try snail through the snail section, and I say snail through it because it's not quick, is it? Especially not in these cars with low downforce. Looks like Michał Waliak has got the whole shot as we lag our way through T2. Apologies for that. And yes, Michał Waliak has got the lead, followed by Finley Taylor, followed by Thomas McHugh, and then Sage, and then it looks like to be Morris Sr. So those positions have been as normal. We'll take out my AI car quickly. And back up front we go. Into the left-right here, as we're going to go onto the big, long straight. Michał Waliak has the lead, followed by Finley Taylor, followed by Thomas McHugh, followed by Louis Sage, Morris Sr. James Smith got past his teammate, Christopher Coburn, and rounding out what would be the points is Armani Risotto. Alan Kopich dropping to 9th, and then Harvey Graden, Langenberg already up to 12th. Great start from Langenberg. And then we have Giancarlo De Campo, Justin Regani, and Curtis. Curtis looking for the inside here. and looks to have made it stick. Yes, he has. Good move from the Irishman. As we look in this camera, as you see everyone going through there, looks like no one's got any damage. I will check that really quickly. Johan de Jong update, he's in 18. Camille there, brilliant start from the Monegasque, she's in 20th. Akikawa hasn't gained any positions really, down in 21st. The Ligier is battling with the LaRussas. We've seen that this season. As they go free wide here, that is TJ Nisbet battling with Opner and Aguirre, and it looks like Nisbet has got the move done. There's Luis Ramirez, Agnes, Backer, too good shy of Patano. Then we have Tanius, Teller and McCormick rounding out the grid. Up front now, we have Finley Taylor in the lead. Let's go on board, let's go for the left, and we've got the little straight towards the left-right, the right that goes on forever as we go on to the straight. This is of course the Chinese Grand Prix circuit, the Shanghai International. This is a slightly older version of it, so you don't have the grandstands around on the left there. But I believe this version fits the theme, and it seems that the drivers have got used to it quite quickly. As Michael Valak chases up, I love this camera angle by the way. Valak under brakes, catching Taylor there. Brings the gap down to 0.5 as Smith making a move on McHugh in the background. Let's find that. McHugh up the inside once again. I think he's maintained that position, but he's dropped down to P5 when his teammate is not in the lead anymore, but right up front, and Valiak retakes the lead as we go around the snail section. What a year Valiak has had so far. He's he's just been brilliant really. No other words to really say. He's got a big lead in the championship. I believe it's around 20 points now. Only 6 points away from the maximum this year. I believe it is 6. And yeah, he's been an incredible driver this year. It's going to take some beating to get the number 6 car. Finley Taylor thinks he can have a go today though. Let's go on board with Finley Taylor. As he closes up on the braking, as they go through the left, through the right, not an overtaking spot here. But it comes down to who's going to get the better exit and then the slipstream down the straight. As they feather the throttle out the corner. And here comes Taylor, sitting in the slipstream. Looks like he's going to pull out to the right. There's going to be a move down into the hairpin. And indeed it is. Looking back we can see Sage, Murray Sr., Thomas McHugh. Those are your top 5. As we enter lap 4 of 15 today. Slightly shorter than a normal race, but for a non-championship race it's not going to be fully blown. First lap of the race goes to Louis Sage on a 1:43.2. Murray Sr. in 4th. It's a good performance so far from him. Harvey has got past the other Ferrari of Christopher Coburn. It's a good race so far for the Tyrrells. I can see the other Tyrrell is in 9th. To head down into the hairpin here. Harvey stalking McHugh. In the mirrors you can see that's Coburn, he's right on the back too. As they follow each other through this S section. Obviously they haven't got the downforce at the moment. Well, at the moment, that doesn't make sense, Alex, come on. In this time period, there isn't the downforce to be going full throttle through the S's. But they're bloody quick on the straights, I'll tell you that much. We're going to keep riding on board with Isabel Harvey here. I think she's going to get a worse exit. But there's Slipstream. Let's watch as she closes in. So does Christopher Kogan though. And Isabel Harvey's pulled to the inside. Is she going to make the move? And yes, she has. She's made the move stick indeed. Right up front, we've had the front four close up massively. So we enter lap 5 of 15. We're already at a third race distance as Louis Sage puts one up the inside into turn 1. And now he's looking at his teammate. We're going to go on board and watch the mirror. Fast lap of the race by Joseph Murray Sr. Something we haven't seen at all this year. And that's Sage up the inside. They bang wheels. In the background, that's Senior up the inside of Taylor. Hasn't made that work. But the two Williams side by side. But Valiant pulls back out and allows Sage to take the lead. And here comes Taylor. He's putting his nose up the inside, but there's nothing really doing there. And so we have a new race leader. That is Louis Sage, the Brit, coming off the back of a win at Germany. And it's a Williams 1-2 at the moment. However, Valiak is not looking safe at the moment with Taylor and Murray Sr. clawing all over his back. And Taylor trying to go a little bit wider to try and get their exit. It looks like he's got a very good exit. We're going to see a move come down into the hairpin. Looks like Taylor's looking to go to the inside. Yes, he does. And is he going to brake later? Yes, he does. He's going to block him out. Nice block pass. And that's Taylor up into P2. So they go around the last corner. It's a 1.7 second lead. Louis Sage leading. Billy Taylor and Michael Valiak. We're going to go back down the field now as the two Ferraris are battling. That's Coburn and Smith. Then we have Langenberg, McHugh. McHugh is out of what would be the points. I bet he's glad it's not a championship race. And here's Gradon and Risotto going side by side. But it looks like Risotto's got the better exit. Johan de Jong up into 12th, and the two Leighton Houses are in 13th and 14th. Then we have Weth Poke, and then we have Regani, Akikawa battling with Ginny de Campo. This is not the Akikawa we've been accustomed to, but Scuderia Italia, you know, haven't got the biggest budget. Maybe they haven't put their all into working out a setup and spending all their money on tyres and new parts and stuff for this race. Maybe they're just relaxing a little bit for this one. After all, it doesn't actually count for anything. And then you have the Minardis in 19th and 20th. And then we have the LaRousse of Granville impressing once again. Then we have Kelly, Opner, Viver doing great still. TJ Nisbet doing pretty well too. Shai Catano doing very well. And then we have Tanius, Louis Ramirez in the Moderna. And then we have Agnes, Too Good in the Coloni. Both the Moderna team and the Coloni outfit, they have not qualified for a single race. So this is the first time you're seeing these two, well, three cars in a race, and the two footworks locked in battle on track. And in last place is Michael Teller, not what I expected. Bear in mind, Michael Teller has qualified for 2 races this year. As the back are having a look at Too Good there. Back up front though, it's Finley Taylor leading the race from Louis Sage and Michael Valiak. Those are your top 3. Murray Sr. a further 8.2 back. Must have been a bad lap from Murray Sr. Let's go on board with Valiak. As we go on his nose, as Sage puts it up the inside into left-hander. Is that going to put him vulnerable though on exit? No, it's not. And you can see the feathering the throttle as they go from about 80 to 140 on the exit of the corner. So we're watching Michał Waliak still as he pulls to the inside with the overspeed. And it looks to be the move from Waliak as they go into the hairpin. Yes, he's closed it off before they even get to the corner. So this is Michał Waliak. It's a 1-2 for Williams once again. As we enter lap 8. So we're over half distance now. Goes with my senior here in P4. I'd say watch this guy. He's closed up 1 second in the last lap. Albeit he has dropped back into that position in the first place. Watch out for Murray Senior, that's what I'm saying. And then we have the 2 Ferraris and then the other Benetton. So business as usual for the tier 1 and 2 teams. And Taylor has dropped back off the back. The 2 Williams as they're locked in combat, as it seems. On board with Waliak now. I don't think he's going to be wanting to sit behind his teammate. He's not going to be wanting to play second fiddle. Williams have been looking like the strongest team this season. I think it's fair to say, with Sage only with 1 win, but he's led a few races. More than a few races, I should say. And Michał Waliak being the dominant force at the top of the championship. I think Williams are having a better season than they anticipated, and they're very pleased with the performances of their drivers. As they round the last corner, Waliak in the lead now. As they blast down across the start finish and into T1. Taking it about 100, dropping it down to about 60. Fast enough the race from James Smith now. And Smith is in 6th place. These 3 cars, all in the 41s. I believe they are, yep, they're catching the front 3. So if we're lucky, we're going to see these guys all close up. At the back, it is McCormick and Teller. Then we have Tabaka and Toogood, Agnes and Louis Ramirez. As Teller puts it up the inside of Tabaka, running him slightly wide. Looks like Tabaka's got better exit though. No, Teller's got the move done. I take that back. Shai Katano and Tanius having a battle on track. Let's go on board with Shai Katano. As Tanius tries to run it around the outside. You can see how low tech the steering wheel is on the AGS. It literally looks like a child's toy. Someone's going to have to quote that, I believe. Anyway, the battle for 27th and 28th there. Shai Katano and Tanius. Back up front is Waliak from Sage, no change there. But now it's Murray Senior, the other Benetton, the one that hasn't been on the podium, and the mediocre driver, or so he thought. He's up into P3. We're going to sit on board with him now. Goes for the left-hander there. The lovely camel livery. I think this is... Well, actually, what do I think is better, the camel or the mild 7 Benettons? I'll say the mild 7 ones, but I mean, that doesn't mean this car isn't beautiful. I mean, look at it. I think it looks even better with a high nose as well. The Benetton drivers haven't developed a B-spec car yet, Neither has anyone on the grid, to be fair, but still. Up front then, it's Louis H. I seem to have missed this lead change as we talk about Benetton and their mid-90s history. And Christopher Coburn, followed by Taylor, Langenberg, McHugh and Smith, the usual suspects, as I've already mentioned. But here comes Valiak on his teammate. Sage trying to pull it a little bit to the right as he defends, but Valiak also goes to the right. And he's going to try and pull alongside. Clean move, really. Gets distraction out the corner with a shallow line. And through the last corner they go as we enter lap 11. And it's Mihail Valiak. So head towards turn 1. Here comes Sage. Up the inside, he dives from very far back with his intense speed. He must have some he has some balls to do that on his teammate, no less. The tyres could give up at any moment and you can understeer and just doesn't go so well. Either way, it's Valiak from Sage from Coburn. Coburn here as Valiak gets a little bit crossed up into that corner. Coburn is in P3 now with Murray Senior having dropped back to 6th. That's unfortunate. It seems to be that Murray Senior is having sporadic pace as Taylor tries to overtake Coburn into the left-hander. Not the easiest corner to overtake into, mind you. And it's Valiak here. Now watch them all as they go onto the straight. We're going to keep on the camera with Taylor. Watching the back from McHugh and watching front to see Coburn. I think we're going to see a few moves here. We go down the straight now. Going up to 100, almost 200 miles an hour. As they're going to go 3 wide. As I believe that was a hit in the back from... the Williams got hit in the back from a driver. And that's how the positions are planned out, allowing Valiak to get a 1.3 second lead. But it's now Finley Taylor from Coburn from Sage as Coburn goes up the inside. Not quite. And now Sage has dropped back to P5 as Langenberg is in 8th now as Smith gets past. Albeit I might have spoken too soon. Oh no, Smith pushes him onto the grass. That's not where most grip is and Smith gets the place. Going backwards then, the two Jordans, they've got themselves into 11th and 12th now. And then we have a Leighton House, a Scuderia Italia and the other Leighton House, a Scuderia Italia. Akikawa has got up to 16th. Still not what we're used to from the Japanese driver, but it's not a bad showing from where she started on the grid. Virginie de Campo is next. And then we have Fischer. And then we have Regani and Barton. And then we're going to go down the rest of the grid in... So there, in 24th still. It's good performance from her. Shai Katano has the best of Tanius at the moment. And then back in the, let's call it the backmarker brawl, it is the two Modernas, the Coloni, the Fond Metal and the two Footworks rounding out the grid as they've all closed up. Oh, this is absolutely brilliant. I'm sorry for cutting away from this. It seems to be 6 cars all battling for the lead. Separated by, it seems to be about 2 seconds. As you look up the inside, that's Sage getting a little bit sideways, but he's made the move stick on his teammate. As Thomas McHugh is now our race leader, followed by Sage, Taylor, Valiak, Coburn, Murray Senior and Smith. 7-way battle for the lead, all within about 3 seconds of each other. As we enter the last 3 laps of this race, absolutely any of these guys could win. as we have Thomas McHugh, our new race leader, hasn't led a lap this race yet. We've seen this year that McHugh's been pretty good at defending, and he's been pretty good at leaving it to last minute too. But only one win to his name so far. Obviously with joint on the same amount of wins as Louis Sage and Valiak on 5. As Sage tries to pull up the inside as they go side by side, they touch again. And it looks like McHugh has defended properly, but no, he hasn't. Sage goes around the outside, finds the grip, and gets the better exit. And that's Sage into lead, and now Taylor's going to have a go. As we head on to the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix, here comes Taylor and here comes Coburn. Both of them getting the moves done. Isabel Harvey isn't too far back. She could be spotting a top 8 here. So we enter the penultimate lap of the race. Lap 14 of 15. It's Louis Sage in the lead. 1 second over Finley Taylor. Sage get a little bit on the grass. I think Taylor's got better exit out this corner. Let's watch what Taylor does. He might put a dive into the hairpin. I think he's a little bit far back. Indeed he is, but he goes hard on the brakes. And he gets a decent exit. Here comes Finley Taylor. I'd say Taylor has led a lot this race. He tries to go around the outside. Brilliant move from Finley Taylor. And this is absolutely the time to be leading. Well, obviously he had that straight, but he's pulled away a 0.8 already. I don't think backmarkers are going to play a role. Obviously this is a long lap. It's a 1:41 for a very quick lap. And here comes Finley Taylor. He's got 1.2 now as he rounds the right-hander and pulls down the straight. Sage is out of the slipstream, surely. As they blast down the straight and into the braking zone on the anchors about the 100 board. As in the background you can see all but 5 of those cars battling for about P4. That's 4th to 8th, all battling. As we enter the final lap of this race. Here we go, guys. Who's it going to be? Leading this lap, it is Finley Taylor, with Louis Sage very, very close in behind. It'd be heartbreak for the Canadian to lose this one, but Sage has been on form, having beaten everyone at last race at Hockenheim. As we head into the hairpin, Sage not going for the move. In the background, we can see the 2 Ferraris are in 4-5, with McHugh desperately trying to close up to the front 2. You never know, McHugh might have a chance at this still. As he's right on the back now, it's going to be a battle for the win between these 3. As you can see the back markers in the camera shot, they're probably about 5 seconds up the road. They're not going to catch them. Nor are they going to play a part in slipstreaming or anything. As they cut around the right-hander for the last time and enter the straight, we're going to go on board with Thomas McHugh. And what are we going to see here? This is the last real overtaking spot. Is Sage going to pull to the inside? Yes, he does. And Sage goes up the inside. Sage makes the move stick. He's got the better exit. I think Louis Sage is going to win this race. As they enter the last corner. Indeed, it's going to be Louis Sage, the Brit, the number 5 Williams, takes the win away from the clutches of the Canadian. Incredible last lap there. Louis Sage getting it done at the last possible moment, really. With Finley Taylor and McHugh rounding off your podium. Mitchell Langerberg saving it to last once again. He's in P4 with Coben P5. Then we have Murray Sr. and Michael Valiak only 7th. James Smith coming in 8th. Then we have Isabel Harvey in 9th. Rounding out the top 10, Johan de Jong, then Samuel Gradin, Risotto, Curtis Polk, Akikawa Kopic, De Campo, for sure Barton, Regani, Grango, Opno, and we're just waiting for everyone to finish. Kean Kelly getting 23rd, followed by Camille Fauvert, then Marcus Aguirre, TJ Nisbet, great drive from him, and here's the 2 AGSs, pretty much alone on the circuit. It is Shai Catano, and he's going to lead home his teammate, Zeddy Tanius, as they drop down the hill for the last time. Across the line now, 27th and 28th, respectively, as we join, I believe it is Jack Agnes here, who's going to come home in 29th. And in behind, great finish for the Moderna in 29th, really. Nothing more that could be asked. Yuri Toogood coming in 30th in the Coloni. Then we have Michael Teller, Juan Luis Ramirez, Jan de Baca, and Squid McCormick finishing the race results. And so that is it, really. As you can see, the final results and the final gaps. It's win number 2 this year, albeit it doesn't count for anything, as this is just a race to bring not awareness, but for those of you dealing with it, you know, we're all dealing with it together, and hopefully we can beat this sooner rather than later. And that is it for the Chinese race against coronavirus. I've been Alex Toogood, and I hope you've enjoyed this race. And nothing left to say. I hope you join us next time in Hungary. I'm going to get that right this time. And yeah, thank you ever so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.